Shalom, shalom, Israel, shalom. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect. Shalom to all the men and women who are rehearsing the righteous acts day in and day out. Shalom to you. Before we get started, I want to give all praises, all glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who are preaching and teaching this truth with humility and sincerity across the four winds of the world to you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indigenous of the America, and the Israelite stranger that has been scattered across the four winds that look like those from those other nations, but their lineage goes back to a black, Hispanic, or Native Indigenous of the America, which go back as well to the lineage of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob as well. Okay, so today's video, Spirit led me to do this video today because the last video I did, I got into subject about Edom and the transliteration of Adawam. And I just wanted to make this video to kind of clarify it even more, because I know I didn't get a chance to touch the subject of how the Hebrew transliteration for man in the Hebrew is Adam, okay, as well as Adam is also Adam in the Hebrew transliteration, and that could get kind of confusing. And then also Esau in the Hebrew's transliteration, they have it spelled as Adam as well. Okay, but we know through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, that it is in fact Adawam. Okay, and this is why you have to study the Hebrew, the Greek, and the Latin. Okay, you have to be aware that there is leaven throughout the whole scriptures. Okay, so we're gonna get into that. Okay, but before I get started, I want to bring something else up. Yahweh is the true ancient Hebrew name who the world ignorantly calls God. Yahweh, meaning he is, he exists. Yahweh Shai is the only begotten Son who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Yahweh Shai. Bahasham is coming in the name. And Rakakwadash is Spirit Holy. Okay, in case you didn't know, the Hebrew is read from right to left, unlike the modern English, which is written from left to right. Okay, this is why I say Rakakwadash, Spirit Holy. Okay, so let's get started here. To kind of touch some of the key points that I was trying to bring up, but I didn't get to mention because I didn't want to get into another whole topic. But let's get right to it. Let's start here in Genesis 1:27. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them. Okay, so we go into the word man right here. Okay. We could see off the rip, there you go right here, man. You see the Strong's transliteration there is H120, okay, for this particular scripture. And you see there Adam, right? The Hebrew's transliteration, man. Remember that H120. Let's go there real quick. As you can see the very top, it says H120, Hebrews 120, Adam. Okay, and this is the Hebrew text format, which is different from the Paleo Hebrew, and that could further bring more confusion. Okay, so as you see that right there, we're in Hebrews 120, Adam, and if we go down to the Strong's right here, the Strong's Hebrews 120, We got some more definitions here. Let's go to the Strong's down here. Strong's definition. Adam. There you go. And this is for the transliteration for the word man. Okay, and as you can see, they have Adam right there. You see that? So let's get started here. You see where it says ruddy human being. Okay. And one of the things I noticed with the word Adam, it's always described as they'll throw red in there to throw a curveball at you, but they'll also have the word ruddy in there as well. Okay, and that is the true meaning of Adam, which is ruddy. Okay, it's not red. Ruddy is a darker hue. Okay, is a reddish brown, and we're gonna show some examples of that. But before I go there, let's go to here to the lexicon right here, and because the lexicon gives different definitions within the history. All right, let's tap the view there. Off the rip, you see Adam right there to the top left. Man, perhaps so called from idea of redness. Okay, idea of redness. Compare the Arabs distinguish two races of men, one red and ruddy. Okay, so back then it's given in a theology and ideology of what men used to identify people, right? So there was only red and ruddy. Okay, making the distinguish a clear difference between red and ruddy. All right, which we call white and the other black. Kind of like today, those two words are used to distinguish the vast majority of people. Okay, red being white and the other black being ruddy. Okay, and we're going to prove that. We're going to look up the word ruddy, and we're going to get some images as well. Okay, and I already got it pulled up right here. So you could get a kind of an idea of Adam, what they're trying to mean with that, with the transliteration, and ruddy. And as you can see, you got three different types of hues, of different tones, right? But right here, you see there, Adam, you see that? Which we saw also means man, okay? Or Adam, okay? See, Adam, okay? And as you can see, beginning on the left, and you can see right above there is a yellow brass amber, right? Has a tint of reddish, but not red. Is a reddish light brown, right? Light skin brown. Then you got in the middle, described as so-called black bronze, more of a dark brown, right? Ruddy. And then all the way at the end, you have the copper ruddy. Okay, all of these are three different types of examples of ruddy. And as you can see on the left here, red, ruddy, lighter skin, then you got the, a little bit more dark brown copper, right? Ruddy. Okay, again, using the word ruddy. And then all the way in the bottom, more of a chestnut brown, right? Different variations of browns. That's all it is. That's what the Adam means, is ruddy. Okay. So, and just like they explain here, back then they used, red and ruddy. Okay. So I just wanted to bring up that point right there. And let's go back here. And let's go to the second one here I wanted to bring up. Genesis 2:7. And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. Okay. And this is it's talking about Adam, this man, right? But here they use the word man, right? Just lowercase man. They didn't use his name, but even if you go there to the transliteration, you're going to see Adam again. All right. And you see here man, and there you have it right there, Adam. You see, Adam, right? But we go to the transliteration, Hebrews 1:20. Adam, right? If you go down here, Adam, first man, right? Adam, man, Adam. But in the Hebrew, it's pronounced Adam, okay? Not Adam. All right, let's hit it real quick.
Strong's H120. Adam. Adam.
Okay, you heard it. Adam. All right, and we go here to the Strong's definition again. You see the word ruddy. So you don't see that once we go to Esau. And this is the point that I wanted to bring up. Okay, you see ruddy again right here. Strong's definition, Adam, ruddy, right? Human being. Okay. And let's go down here to, let's look at this. Sometimes they have on this lexicon, if you click on it, they'll have a different type of variation of the word Adam. But in this case, they kept them the same, both Adam, right? There you have it. Let's go to lexicon right here. We got the same thing as last time, where they got about the Arabs distinguished two races of men, one red and one ruddy. Same thing as the other one, right? Okay, so now we're going to go to where it actually says Adam. So I just showed you two examples of scriptures just using the word man, right? Genesis 1:27 and 2:7. Now we're going to go to Genesis 4:1, where they actually use the word Adam. Okay, same thing. And Adam knew Eve, his wife, and she conceived and bare Cain and said, I have gotten a man from the Lord. Okay, let's go to the transliteration. And Adam, and as you can see there, Adam as well. Hebrews 1:20. Adam. All right. Hebrews 1:20. We go to the Strong's definition. There we go. Hebrews 1:19. Right here in the Strong's definition is ruddy. Okay. Ruddy. The same thing. All right. So now we're going to go to Esau. All right. Because they have the Edomites is spelled as Adam as well. And that's the curveball. But they have, you could also find it if you really dig into where it's truly transliterated in the Hebrew as Adawam. All right. But you have to dig for it. All right, let's go to Genesis 36:1. Now, these are the generations of Esau, who is Edom. Okay, in case you didn't know, the Edomites, okay, go back to Esau. Esau being the progenitor of the so-called white man, okay, which are the Edomites today in modern time. Just like Jacob is the progenitor of the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indigenous of the America. And all these terms, these modern terms, they're all bywords, right? They're all spells to cast confusion and to throw you off completely of who these people are and what their biblical nationality truly is. Okay, just like the Edomites, right? That they say and claim that they no longer exist is a spell. Okay, it's a lie. And that's what the devil does, is lie, right? And this is how you got to study to show thyself approved. Okay, let's go here real quick. Okay, we got Genesis 36:1. And we got Esau. And they got the transliteration there, right? For Ashav, for the Hebrews. And then you've got Edom all the way at the bottom right here, right? So you had man. And you see to the left right here is also spelled like Adam, right? But right above that is the wa, right? And this is the only time where you see the wa right there to make a distinguished separation between Adam and Adawam. Okay, Adam being the man, Adam, the first man to be created. Okay, and Adawam, the Edomites, right, which we just got done reading earlier, come from Esau. Okay, 36. Now, these are the generations of Esau, right? The generations of his descendants go all the way back to Esau, the Edomites. All right, let's go here to the transliteration. Let's go to Hebrews 1:23. You see? Adam, right? Edom. But they still got the same Hebrews transliteration up there. But you see that here? Let's look at the outline biblical usage. Edom equals red. Okay? They don't have ruddy here. Okay? Just like we read with the Arabic descendants, how they would describe at that time in the lexicon, they said between red and ruddy. Okay? You have to distinguish the two between Adam, the first man, and Adawam, which is the Edomites. And here you have it. Edom equals red. And we're gonna show you the correct Hebrews transliteration, which they don't have here. I'm gonna see if I can find it. As you can see up there, they still have it. Adam, Edom, the son of Isaac and Jacob, Edomites, descendants of Edom, which is also known as the nation, right? That was the nation of Edom. Edomites or Idumeans, the same thing. All right. Let's see here. But as you can see right here on the left, the Hebrews transliteration above is Adawam. Right above that is Adawam. Salaki for that. Let's go back here. Let's go to Hebrews 1:23. And let's go here to the Strongs. They don't have it there. But as you saw earlier, where was it? Before we got to this page where they had the Wam, and this is where you have to go and look for it. Okay, let's go here to first we have to find that Hebrews transliterations for the alphabet, right? And this is what they do, because the Hebrew, the Paleo Hebrew, they don't have no vowel letters. Okay, so you see the wa right here, see that right there? They changed it to a V, vav. Okay, let's start at the beginning. Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, He, Wa, right? And if you look to the left, it's the form, right? The Hebrew's text form. And you see it looks like a stick with a little mark to the left. That is the Wa, right? And that is that same symbol that you see in the transliteration. Okay, but they don't show you on the Strong's definition there. So that Wa, Adawam, right? And then you have the end with the M, Adawam, to which is this one right here. You'll see a circular looking thing with asterisks. It could be written like the left or the right there. You see that O looking thing? That's an M. You see that to the right. Okay, but they have an E, right? And they throw you off with these vowel letters because the ancient Paleo Hebrew didn't have the vowel letters. Okay. Okay, so it's the WAM. All right. So remember that little sign right there. This is the wall right here. That's the wall. As you can see, wall, not V. Okay. Let's get out of here. Oh, I wanted to find something here. Right, we looked at it right here. Transliteration. Let's go back over here. And that same little sign I showed you earlier, that's thick with a little, and there you have it right there all the way at the bottom. Edom. You go all the way to the left. You see that right there? They don't have it over here when you click on it. Oh, look at it right here. I found it. See that? See this top one right here? Adam, and then here's the Wam. And there you have it. You see that the root is Adam, and right above that is the wall. Right? The Wam. Right? They won't let you hear the inflected one. They only let you hear the root.
Strong's H 123. Edom. Edom.
And they even pronounce it wrong because they pronounce it with a E, right? And again, there's no E vowel letters in the Paleo Hebrew, and you could look that up. But let's go right here where it says word, and you see where it says word, the Wam. You see that one? It's got the wall right there, which I showed you guys earlier with the text format in the Blue Letter Bible. Okay, and the text format here is it'll throw you off from the original Paleo too. So, but that's why you have to study, right? You have to study the Paleo and their version of Hebrew, as well as the Latin and the Greek, to be able to decipher the true meanings and stuff. Salakia. So now I'm gonna show you actual Paleo. Where it the wall is spelled correctly. Okay, so I just did a simple Google search right here, Paleo Hebrew, the word Edom, and you see they even have a different, but they actually have it correct because they have 1, 2, 3, 4 characters, right? But they look different from the original Paleo. This is the original right here. The Wam, you see that Y, the second one there looks like a Y. That's the Wa, right? And they even have the pronunciation right to left, right? You see the Aleph, Dalet, Da, Wa, the Wam, right? So you read it all together, Da, Wam, right? There's 3 syllables, Da, Wam. There's 4 characters, but 3 syllables, right? Da, Wam, right? And Adam is just 2 syllables. See the distinct, the clear, distinguished difference between Adam and Adawam, just like red and ruddy. Okay, that wall. And look, and right under that it says it stems from the Semitic root meaning red or ruddy. Right, there's a difference. Okay, referring to both the red landscape of the region and the appearance of Esau and the appearance of Israel. Okay, so there you have it, man. This is the original Paleo Hebrew right here. The Wam, I was surprised they had that on here, man, because as the times go on more and more, you're seeing a lot of information be taken out. I even screenshotted it just in case. But as you can see, man, there's leaven everywhere, and you have to remove it. There's a lot of spells that have been casted out by these bywords and these different meanings to keep people astray, man. That way you are lost, don't know who you truly are, don't know your real inheritance that you have as a Hebrew Israelite. Okay, let's go here. All right, I wanted to go to all right, we gotta bring this up here. Matthew's 16:6. Then Yahushua said unto them, take heed and beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and of the Sadducees. Okay, so Yahushua, red letter, was saying, take heed and beware of the leaven. Okay, we do know in the Old Testament the leaven was speaking of the bread, the actual yeast in the bread, to get rid of that, but this time he was speaking on the doctrine, right? And we could prove that here, what he was telling his disciples. And you read further down, number 12, then understood they how the bade them not beware of the leaven of the bread. Okay, then understood they how that he bade them not beware of the leaven of the bread, but of the doctrine of the Pharisees and of the Sadducees. Okay, so he was telling them because they were kind of confused, and you could read that later, from the top, how the disciples were confused, thinking, man, why does he want us to get rid of the leaven? They actually thought the actual leaven in bread. He's like, man, I'm not talking about the leaven in actual bread. I'm talking about the doctrine of Pharisees and of the Sadducees. Okay, I wanted to bring that up, and this is exactly why you have to study to show thyself approved. Okay, you have to constantly be diligent in this 100% true gospel. That way you could, not be led astray. Okay, that way you could get out of them spiritual curses that they have casted throughout the whole world, right? Even amongst their own heathen nations, they have casted these spells. And these doctrines are so deep, man. These people have no clue. And this is why they still calling on fake names. And even the Lord, the only begotten Son, Yahushua, has the Wah in there, right? And you got Yahweh as well. And this is why you see these demons out here talking about Jehovah with a V, right? There wasn't that V letter, that vowel wasn't in the Paleo Hebrew, okay? But again, these are spells to throw you off, cause confusion, and keep you far from the straight path, the narrow path, right? That nobody wants to be on. Everybody wants to be on that broad gate, which is easy and comfortable and it's full of blasphemy, man. It's full of wickedness and lies, right? Because it's comfortable. Okay. Let's go here to John 1 and 2. And that's also what I wanted to bring up in case if you could receive it in the spirit, great. Adam was Yahushua. Okay. Regeneration in the spirit does exist, in the Bible. It's throughout all the Bible. I have a video I made on that, but I'm not going to go too into detail with that, but we're going to bring up here John 1 and 2. The same was in the beginning with Yahweh. Okay, who was in the beginning with Yahweh? Okay, the only begotten. Okay, all things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. Okay, that is Yahushua. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. Okay, this is what he's talking about. Adam was Yahushua. Okay, you can receive it in the spirit, great. Okay, you do get regenerated in the spirit. And that's gonna be a big thing for a lot of people that that haven't received this 100% true gospel. They're still calling on different variations of the true name. You've got different types of Hebrews out there. Okay, you got Aramaic, you got a bunch of other one, Ashkenazi. You got all this other man-made Hebrews. Okay, and this is all designed to keep you away from the true power. Okay. Let me see something else here. Oh yeah, I wanted to bring up this as well, real quick. I got to get going. Here we go. The Shalom, right? Shalom. It's got the wa right there. Okay, and you see that Shalom. You see that Y looking kind of like a slingshot. All right. The second one next to the M, Shalom. All right. And that is the same character that you saw with the wall, Adawam, right? And there you go right there, Wa. See that? Shalom, all right, which means peace, a blessing, wholeness, okay? Let's see, I got some more pictures right here on top here. I think that's it right there. Yep, you see the W, Wa, right there. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and end it with that. I want to bring one more. Hold on a second. Yeah, Yahweh. Okay, very important. Not Yehovah. That V. No, that's going off, man. As you see right here, Yahweh. There you go again. That little slingshot looking Y right there. You see that? Yahweh. This is the true ancient biblical name of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh. Okay? See right there, Wah. Okay, there was no V, not Jehovah, not Yahushi. You got to get it right, man. Okay? Time is ticking. We're literally about to go. We already started engaging in this woe number 3. Okay, the engagement has been done. Blood has been shedded already. Like always, Edom equals red. Red equals murder, man. That's what this man is about. That's why the blessing of Esau was the fatness of the earth, but was also the great sword, man. He liveth by the sword, and he's going to be eliminated by the sword. Okay, it does says Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. Before I go, I want to give all praises, all glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who are preaching and teaching this truth with humility and sincerity across the 4 winds of the world, to you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indigenous of the America, and the speckled bird that look like those other nations, but their lineage go back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob as well. Shalom, shalom.